Very often in life, we wish things were happening faster and we do not trust the timing of how our life is unfolding. We might want things to, again, happen faster. We might want to experience things sooner. We might want to get through something hard more quickly. This is all super common and a very normal human experience. But I am here to share with you that if we can really trust the timing of our life, things will unfold so much more easily with so much more flow. And so when we look at this from from a human design lens, we can see it even more fully. I am Hannah Chapman. I am the founder of X Squared Wealth Planning and Expansive CEO. I am a certified financial planner and entrepreneurial wealth coach, and I bring human design and gene keys profiles into all of my work, helping business owners become more in tune with themselves, aligned with their true selves and genius, and able to make more money in the world in a way that feels good to them. So let's talk a little bit about timing in life, especially as it relates to six profile individuals. So I'm going to show you my human design chart, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to be a six profile, especially as it regards to timing in your life. So this is me. I am a 6-2 manifesting generator with sacral authority. Where did I get the 6-2 from? So first, on this particular version of the chart, it does show down here in the profile. It says 6/2 role model/hermit. If you don't have words on the bottom of your chart, wherever you pulled it from, to tell you that, you can look at the very top of the chart on either side. So we've got these two columns of numbers on either side. On this side, labeled personality on mine, my conscious sun, this is the sun placement, says 4.6. That 6 is my first profile line. If we go over to the design side or the unconscious side, this one says this is the unconscious sun. It says 8.2. This is the 2 line of my profile. So we have 6/2. The other things that you might have, so the other ways you could be a 6 profile, this is a very important placement, your sun placements. You could be a 6/3. You could be a 6/2 like me. You can be a 4/6, or you can be a 3/6. Those are the 4 different combinations where this will apply to your life. So, what does this mean? What does it mean to be a 6 profile in human design? And what does it mean to trust the timing of your life as a 6 profile? Well, 6 profiles go through 3 life phases. What we really experience is this 3-phase life of up till about our Saturn return. So, up until from birth until about 28 to 30, you're going to be more like what we would call a 3 line. The 3 line in human design is all about experimentation. So, if you'll remember, the 6 said role model. 6/2 said role model/hermit. So that 6 line is the role model. As a 6 line, you're meant to be a teacher. You're meant to impart your wisdom. People will look to you for your wisdom throughout life. You know, you will be a teacher of some sort, not necessarily that you teach at a school or at a university, but you will be someone who is a guide, a teacher, an educator, in some way, shape, or form. But we don't start out that way necessarily, because in our first 28 to 30 years of life, we're really acting as a 3 line. And a 3 line is all about experimentation, trial and error, getting it wrong, falling down, getting up, trying again. Okay, so in that 3 phase, when we are an immature version of ourselves, we are trying all kinds of different stuff. We are experimenting with all the different ways that we get excited about things, and all the different ways that, our genius might show up in the world. Okay, when I was in high school, one of the things I actually had to um, take a step back because I was doing a lot. I played several different instruments. I mainly played flute. That was my main instrument, but I also took piano lessons. I played French horn. I took horseback riding lessons. I worked really hard. I was in a lot of AP classes in high school, and I worked a job. I worked at Cold Stone Creamery. It was my first W-2 job, really. Um, when I was in high school, I did a whole lot of stuff. And I wanted to do all of it well. I wanted to have all of it be perfect. And I was burning myself out like early, and my mom saw it happening. She noticed that I was really tired. I was staying up late doing homework, but also, doing all my other activities and band and marching band and um, all of these things. And she told me I had to drop a few things. I had to stop. I had to pull it back. I had to rein it in. So I did when I was in high school. And throughout college, it was kind of the same. I was always doing a lot of different things. And, um, sticking with music, I stayed with music for a long time, but I also loved finance. That's how I got into what I do now, was right after college. But I was doing all these things. And after college, I was also super interested in nutrition and exercise. And then I was really interested in cooking and making things from scratch. And then making things from scratch led me to want to have a garden and chickens, so that I could, have hens that laid eggs, and I could, make things from vegetables in my garden. And then I wanted to start knitting. I thought that sounded fun. And so I started learning everything about knitting. And then, of course, knitting meant, oh, now I want to know how yarn is made. So then I started spinning. And then when I started spinning, I was like, well, I wonder how they get it from sheep to fiber stage. And so then I bought like literally the fleece off of a sheep, to start processing that and spinning that. Right. So I've always been, I was doing all these things at the same time as well. I will mention that. I've always had all these different things going on while working out, cooking things from scratch, making friends, all of these different things, right? I was married as well. So my husband and I, we had dogs at the time. Um, and I always just was trying so many different things. And I was in a position that I was in for a long time, but even there, it was stable. I was doing a good job. I was the financial planning point person for a large practice. I was doing all the financial planning for a lot of different advisors. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I want to be a midwife when I grow up and help women have babies. Maybe I want to, do something totally different. I was just in this full on experimentation phase, exploring, maybe more than experimentation, like exploring phase. And as I got into my late 20s, early 30s, that's where I really settled in. And so when we hit our Saturn return as a six profile person, when you hit your Saturn return, you will go into what's called going on the roof in human design. So as a six line, we experiment, explore, try things, mess it up, try again, build our resilience. And then when we hit that Saturn return, there's a desire to go up and away and to stop all the experimenting and exploring and just kind of hunker down and learn the thing that you're going to do, right? Really build some muscle in that particular area that matters to you. So this is the second phase of life. So about 28 to 30, and that lasts all the way until your Chiron return, which is usually right around 50 years of age, right now, like 49 to 51. For me, it's when I am 50. So age 28, oh, look at those fireworks. That's fabulous. Thank you, Zoom. At age 28, right, I went through my first Saturn return. And now I'm almost 41 right now, 40 and a half. Um, and I have been in this phase of really deep learning. There is some sharing. I do share my wisdom in a lot of ways. I do things like this, and I teach, and I help people with their finances, and I help people with their business growth. Um, right. But this is all still, I can feel it. I can feel that this is like deepening. I'm continuing to deepen my knowledge and deepen my understanding of business growth, finance, human design, gene keys. You can throw plant medicine in there and coaching and facilitating. All of these things are really important to me and a way that I help clients move forward. But I'm not necessarily, again, exploring a ton of different things. I'm going deep on the things that I know really light me up. So that is a phase. That is the second phase is really, really important because we're now, right? I can look at all the experience I had up until, I decided that like, nope, financial planning is where I go deep. And I now have, even at 40, I have been in this industry for 18 years. It's been a long time, right? So I have this depth of knowledge, even in my field, right? Comparatively to other people my age who have not been in this particular industry doing this exact thing for as long as I have and going as deep with clients as other people, right? So this like depth of knowledge is really becoming a really important library for me on the inside. What is happening though is as I get closer to that third stage of life, the third stage of life is coming off the roof. So at the Chiron return, which again is usually right around age 50, everyone with a six line in their profile is going to come off the roof. What does this mean? It really just the imagination of it. That's all it is. Like imagine yourself going up on the roof and being like, all right, I'm like doing my thing. This is just, I'm here, I'm observing, I'm like watching everyone else and like figuring out what y'all are doing down there. And then at 50, you're ready to come off the roof. You're ready to say, okay, I have been observing society for the last 20 plus years. I have been observing myself. I have been getting to know myself more deeply. I've been getting to know humanity more deeply. And then here is what I have learned. Here's what I've learned from my experience. And I'd like to share it. That is where the the role model of the sixth line really kicks in after the Chiron return. So after age 50. And I can tell you when I first heard that, the other thing that goes along with that is, especially for, again, six line profiles, life really begins at 50. When I first heard that as a 35-year-old, I was like, ugh, terrible. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me my life won't start for another 15 years, like, especially if you're younger than that. If you're in your 20s right now and you're like, ugh, I don't, that sounds terrible. What does that even mean? What it means is that our wisdom is cultivated as a six line. Your wisdom is cultivated over your lifetime. Also, as a six line, you are really here. You're called to help speak from your experience and teach from your experience, not necessarily theoretics of things that you haven't actually done. You might notice if you have a six in your profile, you might actually notice that people don't listen to you very much. Even if when I was younger in financial planning, I tried to be an advisor at first and it wasn't working. I had all the knowledge. I could like spit out all the facts. I could tell people, here's this best strategy based on XYZ, but I didn't have the life experience to back it up. And people didn't vibe with that. Now, almost 20 years later, I have the life experience. I have the businesses I've built, multi six-figure businesses at this point. And it's all wrapped up with that financial planning knowledge and financial stability basis, all of that. People now listen. That part is happening. So if you are, again, if you're younger, if you're in your 20s or your teens and you have a six line profile, a 6'3", 6'2", 4, 6, 3, 6, any of those, just know that you're here to keep trying stuff. You're here to keep exploring and experimenting and figuring out life. And then when you're after that Saturn return, age 28, to about 50, that's the time to like deepen. Doesn't mean you still won't make shifts and changes. I've had big changes in my 30s. But the essence of what I do, like I know who I am now, right? And I've been deepening in that knowledge for the last many, many years, at this point, especially the last 5 to 6 years, really. Um, and so when we get to that age 50, when we get to that Chiron return, now the wisdom that we've been collecting, cultivating, the vision that we've been seeing, the way we've been observing the people around us, now all of that is called in and will be revealed, basically. People will be asking for your wisdom. People will be asking for your help. And depending on in your human design, what type you are, again, I'm a manifesting generator, which is a generator type. I'm here to respond. I'm here to respond to life and respond to people's requests and respond to the way people are interacting with me. Right. And if I get an invitation to speak on a stage, I get to feel into that and say, ooh, that feels really exciting, or that doesn't feel good. Right. I'm here to respond to those requests. If you're a projector, you're here to be invited and wait for that invitation for someone to say, oh my gosh, I know you've, spent 20 years in this particular thing. Can you tell me about it? Can you teach me more? Like that's an invitation. If you're a manifester, you're here to initiate, to inform and initiate, especially manifestors who are 6-2 profiles or, excuse me, other 6-line profiles. When you are in your manifestor-ness, you are here to receive these beautiful, amazing, creative downloads and then inform the people around you. Oh, I just got this amazing idea. I have to go like work on it right now. Right. And you inform people and then you initiate that action. And then you bring the people around you who can help you bring that vision to life. Right. But you're going to have this knowledge from all of the observation you've done over the last 50 years or more. If you are a reflector, right? This is going to be where people are going to really, ask. They're going to be asking you for your wisdom, right? For you to just be in your environment and have that your aura of you are reflecting everyone around you as a reflector. You're taking in their energy and you are reflecting back to them who they are. And that's going to be so valuable. Your wisdom in having cultivated, gotten to know so many different kinds of people, getting to know yourself so deeply, you'll be able to reflect back to others who they really are in really beautiful ways. So that third stage of life, opportunities open up even greater. You get to really, again, like pour out your wisdom in a more significant way. This might be when that book that's inside of you needs to come out, or the film, or the screenplay, um, or the foundation, or the big project, right? This might be that time, that age 50, 55, 60, like you are ready to pour out that wisdom. So when you are feeling like, why are things taking so long? Or I thought I would be further along by now, or whatever that that feels like within you, if you're a 6-line profile, just know that you are right where you're supposed to be. You are learning all the things you're supposed to learn. You're gaining all the wisdom that you're supposed to gain in this lifetime. And when you are at that stage, the 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, like you are such a beautiful keeper of wisdom. And when you share that, when you share from your lived experience, it's so, so powerful and so, so needed. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or if you would like to know more, I am so happy to receive your comments and questions. You can send emails to Hannah, Hannah, at expansiveceo.com if you have questions. If you want to explore what it looks like to work with me, you can look at both hannahrchapman.com and expansiveceo.com if you want specifically more human design and Gene Keys coaching. So thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day.